Hey guys, today I'm making a really easy dinner recipe, a pork and potato hash in the Ninja FOOdi air fryer. So let's get to it. All right, so for this recipe, just a few simple ingredients. I've got about a couple of small potatoes, one large one, and maybe about a half a pound of pork. This is just a pork chop. I just chopped that up into cubes. That was marinating in some buttermilk with some seasoning, some paprika, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder for about a half hour. These potatoes were just cubed up, probably about an inch, 2 inch, inch and a half. A little bit of olive oil to the top, and I'm gonna hit it with maybe a tablespoon, teaspoon of cornstarch. And it'll help give us that nice crust that we're looking for. We're going to go for a little bit of salt. We can always salt it later, so you want to stay light on the salt. Some black pepper. And we're going to give it some of this. This is just onion powder. Garlic powder, just a little bit. And if you want a little extra heat, some cayenne pepper. Just a little dab will do you. That's it. So we're just going to toss this around a little bit just to get everything coated. I've already preheated the Ninja FOOdi for about 10 minutes. Get it nice and hot in there. So let's get that open. I can still feel the heat in there because it was preheated. I'm going to put a liner in there. And we're going to get these potatoes, and you want to make sure you get them into like a one layer. You don't want them sitting on top of each other. Okay, and if you have them flat, that's even better. They'll toast up nicely on the front and the bottom. So we're going to close this up. 400 degrees on air fry. Air fry to 400 degrees. I'm going to go about 20 minutes. Depending on how crispy you want them, 15-20 minutes might be okay for this batch. You might have to go a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on your air fryer and how crispy you want them. So I'm going to let that go, and I'll bring you back when it's time for the pork. Well, now the potatoes are done. It's been 20 minutes, so you can see they're nice and crispy, but not too crispy. You don't want them crunchy, but you do want a nice crisp to it. So we're just going to just take those out. Get those into a plate, because we're not done yet. So again, the pork was sitting in some buttermilk with some seasoning. I'll leave all the ingredients below in the description section of the video. So I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of salt here, a little bit of salt on the potatoes. All right, and I'm going to get a little flour on there. Okay, because we want to get a nice crust. So take that, hit it with a little bit of black pepper, and you're going to need a little bit of liquid in order to get it all kind of goopy. That goopiness is going to give it a crust, a nice crunch on it. So hit it with some olive oil. Okay, and then we're just going to roll it around here until most of the flour's been kind of absorbed and makes almost like a pasty consistency over the pork. Okay. All right. So once you got a nice coating on it, we're going to get it back into the air fryer. So we're just going to dump those in like that. Okay, again, you want to spread them out. Let me use a fork. Spread them out into a single layer. That way we get all nice color and texture on these pieces. Okay, like that. So nice and flat is good. Now, if you have thick chunks, again, single layer. If you have thick cubes, that's fine too. So I'm just going to hit it with a little bit more olive oil. You can spray it if you have a sprayer. Okay, let's close that down. Air fry again. 400 degrees. Hit start. I don't think we're going to need 20 minutes. I think probably going to be fine at about 7 minutes. So in 7 minutes, I'm going to bring you back. About halfway through, about 3.5 minutes, I'm going to take a look at them. If they got a nice crust along the edges, I'm going to flip them and finish it off. And I'll bring you back when we're ready to assemble this. All right, so now the pork has completed its cycle. I left it in there for a couple extra minutes because I wanted it a little bit more crispy along the sides here. So we're just going to pull this out real quick. Pull out the pork here so you can see it's got nice crispy edges. We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. So I'm just going to pull that out, put that on top of the potatoes. Okay, we're going to, little crispy bit. That's good. All right. So for the next piece, I've got 1 egg in this little ramekin here with a little bit of olive oil in it. And I'm going to put this in the center. We're going to cook this in the air fryer also. And I got some flatbread. This is just some store-bought flatbread, because you're going to need some bread with this. Trust me, you're going to want it. So I'm going to take flatbread and we're going to cut it into triangles. Now you can cut squares if you like. It's up to you. I'm just going to go with triangles here. All right. Just because they look nice. And the edges will get nice and crispy. It's good to dip in. All right. Dip one more. All right. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of olive oil too. Just to add a little bit extra flavor. Because this bread, it's good when it's warm. But olive oil always gives it a little bit extra. Okay, put that on there. And of course, I'm going to season it a little bit. I'm going to go with a little bit of salt. Again, not too much because we've got plenty of flavors going here. And some garlic. Okay, just a light dusting. And we're just going to get those all in here. It doesn't matter how they sit. So let's close this up. Start. Air fried is fine. So we're going to hit the start. And we're going to go about 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to take a look at it when the egg is done, depending how you like it. If you like it completely hard in the middle, that's fine. I like mine a little runny. So when that gets done, I'm going to take it out. We're going to plate it up. I'm going to enjoy it. All right, after about 6 minutes, I think the egg is pretty much done. Probably a little bit more than I would have liked, but hey, it's going to work. So let's get that here, let that cool. Now you can dump it out if you like. Take all these out. These are hot. We're going to let these cool a little bit. So let that cool a little bit. I'm going to take this out. Take that out. So now we're going to just reheat everything that we have here just to get everything up to temperature. So I've added a little bit of olive oil to the base. Get that in there, and you can hear it's still very hot. So we're going to just give this a little spin just to heat them through a little bit. Now, for the final touch, we're going to have some cherry peppers in here. Okay, so I'm going to grab a clean fork. And these are just hot vinegar peppers, sliced. You can use whole ones if you like. So I'm just going to get a few of them in there, like that. Add a couple more. All right. Let's close that. Give this a toss. All we want to do is kind of get all the flavors going together. We're not looking to recook anything, just looking to heat it through a little bit. Okay. And I'm also going to give it a little bit of fresh basil. Just a little bit of a freshness and some color. It's got to be used too. And get the nice colors, the flavors, the scent. I mean, you can smell the vinegar, the spices. The olive oil comes out, the basil. And this didn't take long at all. Now you can make the egg on a stovetop if you like. Nice fried egg, works well. I just figured there's less dishes to clean this way. So now we're good to go. We're good to eat here. So I'm just going to take a quick taste here. That garlic, awesome. So I'm going to take a potato and let's grab that one there. It's a nice piece, nice crisped up piece of pork right there. So, it's already been coated with that vinegar pepper, so you get the flavor already. That's good. A little bit of spice, saltiness. You get the pork flavor, you get the potato, kind of a smoothiness in there, the crunch of the bread. Easy dinner. Give me some likes, some comments, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We appreciate all the support we get from you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.